Welcome to Section 2 of the Interview Preparation Program. In this section of the program, we will break down every aspect of the case interview to provide you with the knowledge, tools and skills required to pass the case interview at any firm. So, within this section of the program, you will learn everything about solving case interviews. Specifically, you will learn 1. The fundamentals of a case interview. 2. How to effectively structure your page and take notes. 3. How to build unique framework and structures. 4. How to brainstorm creative ideas that show you have strong business news. 5. How to synthesize any case and generate a strong recommendation for a client. You may now be thinking, well, what actually is a case interview? Before we jump into the basics, I want to provide you with a brief overview of what a case interview actually looks like. Please note that all case interviews do not have the same structure and format. However, 90% of case interviews follow a similar structure. Generally, case interviews include 5 key sections: the opening, building a framework, conducting analysis, brainstorming, and then providing a final recommendation. I will now break each of these areas down. The opening is where you are given a prompt of the business problem you are trying to solve. You are then given the opportunity to ask clarifying questions based around the business problem to understand more about the issue you are trying to solve. Next, you will be expected to create a framework to guide your analysis. This framework is essentially a structured plan to determine the root cause of an issue or to generate a solution. This framework should be created using a MECE structure. Once you have presented your framework, you will be required to conduct analysis relevant to the case. This analysis can come in the form of chart interpretation, statement interpretation, or pure quantitative analysis. This is generally the largest section of the case. Once you have conducted analysis, you may be required to brainstorm creative ideas for the client to overcome their issue. In essence, these are your structured solutions to the problem they face. Finally, you will be required to provide a recommendation based on your analysis. This recommendation should recognise key risks and include next steps the client should take to achieve their objective. Before we look at case interview fundamentals, it is critical that you learn how to effectively take notes and structure your workings. Too often we see candidates have messy workings, which makes their analysis difficult to follow and understand. This shows the interviewer you are unstructured and disorganised. Your first cross. This is the page layout where we recommend you use. Before the case begins, you should divide your page into the 3 separate sections as shown. In the notes section on the left, you should write down any quantitative or qualitative information you are given during the prompt and make note of units and metrics used. In the bottom left, you should write the objective of the case. This is the most important information that will guide your analysis and recommendation. By keeping it separate, you can continuously refer back to this to help keep your analysis on track. Finally, on the right-hand side is space for your workings out. In this space, it is important to structure your work and keep it organised. This will ensure it is easy to follow for both you and the interviewer. The last thing to remember is to not try to cram all the workings into one page. Rather, use multiple pages to give yourself ample space to complete the appropriate workings.